Hello and welcome to day 10, the final day of the Trauma Informed Yoga series. I am Adriana, and day 10 is all about fulfilling our dream. So grab your mat and we'll get started. I invite you to join me in child's form to start today's practice. There's many different variations you may choose. You may choose to keep your legs together. You may choose to bring your knees out to the sides of your mat. Bringing the tailbone back towards the feet. You can bring the arms up above your head or place them down by your side. Keeping the head up or resting it on the mat. Many options. Taking a few breaths here to settle into today's practice. Today's practice is all about fulfilling our dreams, fulfilling whatever we're putting our mind to. So I ask you to ask yourself, if you feel called to, what dreams can you work towards fulfilling today? No matter how big or how small they seem, what steps can you take towards fulfilling them? Spending 3 more breaths in whatever child's form you're in. Always knowing that throughout this practice, you get to choose what parts you would like to participate in, and if there's any parts you wouldn't like to, you can always choose something else. Making your way onto all fours when you're ready. We'll be moving into a low lunge from here, and a few different forms coming out of the low lunge. So if you would like something underneath your knee, feel free to place something there. I invite you to bring that left leg up. So you're in this low lunge form. The back knee is down. You're on the left foot. Taking 1 or 2 breaths to ground into this form. Maybe imagining a string out of the top of your head, pulling you nice and tall. If some twists or variations feel in your practice today, I invite you to take that left foot and just wiggle it out to the edge of your mat. Place both your hands in between that left foot, and you can place them on books or a block if you would like. You may decide to stay here, or you may decide to take that left hand and bring it up towards the sky, twisting your body to the left with the arm. Spending a few breaths here. This does not feel good for your neck to look up. You can always bring the head back down. 1 more inhale. On the next exhale, if you're twisting, I invite you to bring that left arm down, bring your body back down so that your hands are in between beside your left foot. And then from here, I invite you to bring your hips back a little bit so you're straightening that left leg as much as feels comfortable. Just to get a different sensation here, moving into a different form. We'll hold for 1 breath here. And on your next exhale, you can make your way back into that tripod. Bring your hands a little bit more in front of you. I'll be moving into a plank here and flowing onto my stomach before we complete the same thing on the other side. So if you would prefer not to do that, you can wait and join once we get to the other side. If you would like to join me here, I invite you to go up onto your back toe. So you're lifting your back knee up. And then take that left foot, bring it to line up with that right foot, enter into a plank. You can put your knees down if you would like. slowly lowering down to the ground. From here on an inhale, lifting the upper body up into cobra as high as feels comfortable for you. Arms can be bent or straight, whatever feels good. And on an exhale, coming back once again to child's form. Many different variations here, legs together, knees at the edge of your mat, arms above your head, arms down by your sides. You get to choose what works best. Spending 3 breaths in this child's form if you're still with me. On the next exhale, coming back up onto all fours, we'll repeat the same thing on the other side here. So we'll keep the left knee down this time. We'll bring the right foot up. So we're in our low lunge on the other side. Lots of creaking and cracking out of me today. Once again, you may imagine a string coming from the top of your head just to pull you up a little bit taller if that feels good. On your next breath, wiggling that right foot to the edge of your mat, placing both your hands next to that right foot, either on the mat or up on blocks or books. You may decide to stay here, or you may decide to take that right hand and twist your body up so the right arm goes up, just like on the other side. If this doesn't feel good for your neck, you can look down instead of up. Spending a few breaths here. One more inhale. On the exhale, if your arm is up, I invite you to bring it back down so that your arms are in between your mat and your right foot here. And then just like on the other side, if it's in your practice today, you can straighten that right leg a little bit, keeping the hips forward, but bringing them back. And holding here for 2 breaths. One more inhale. On the exhale, bending that right knee so that you're back into the tripod. From here, we will once again move into our plank and then lower onto our stomach. So if you would like to join us on the stomach, feel free to do that. We will be moving into a sitting form after that. So you can join us there if you would prefer. If you are joining me in plank, I invite you to bring both your hands so they're a little bit above your foot. You can lean the body forward slightly. Go up on that left toe, lift the back knee, bring the right foot back to meet the left one. And then once again, slowly lowering down. You can lower on your knees if you would prefer. And then from here, lifting up once again into cobra as high as feels comfortable for you. Taking one breath. Coming back down to the stomach, I will be doing locust pose or Superman. So if you care to join me, the arms are going to go above the head, legs out behind you. We're going to support ourselves on our body by lifting the arms and the legs up. So on the count of 3, we'll do that. 1, 2, 3. Lift the legs, lift the arms, staring in front of you. Holding for 3, 2, 1. Lowering the body down. Perhaps resting on the hands, relaxing on the stomach, giving yourself a moment. And when you're ready, making your way into a seated form, I'll be doing a seated fold, so the legs going straight out in front of me. Now, as always, if you would prefer not to join in, it is your choice. You can join us in a different form or stay resting on the mat. You are joining into the seated forward fold, many different options. So one would be to gently lean the body forward. Second option would be to take your arms and slide them down the legs, down the shins here. So you're leaning forward even more. You may even want to rest your forearms on your legs. Another option might be to grab a pillow or a bolster and place it on your lap, and you can hug that and rest on that. Spending a couple breaths here. If your legs feel like they're stretched too much, the sensation doesn't feel good, you can bend your knees or you can place a pillow underneath the knees. As you rest in this form, once again, maybe coming back to the dreams that you're thinking of fulfilling. Reminding yourself that you are worthy of any dream that you would like. There's that little voice that comes in your head that thinks that's unreasonable or I can't do that. If you feel up for it, if it feels good for you, maybe challenge that voice. Maybe there's someone in your life you know that's already doing a dream, someone you look up to. Allow them to be proof that you can do it too. We'll spend one more breath here. On your exhale, wherever you are resting in this forward fold, I invite you to slowly bring your way back up so that you're sitting. If it feels good for you, I invite you to bring the legs out slightly so that your feet are on the edges of your mat. So we're going in a slight straddle. If you would like to bring them wider, by all means do so. You don't need to. We'll repeat the same fold. Once again, you can choose to slightly lean forward. Instead of bringing your arms down your legs, you can bring them in between your legs on the mat. Once again, grab a pillow if you would like and rest further into the form. Many options. I will be spending 3 more breaths here. In your own time, once again, slowly coming back up, one vertebrae at a time, sliding the arms up the mat if they were down, and coming into a final resting form, whatever feels good for you. If there's any other movements calling to you before you rest, feel free to do those now. Maybe you want to wiggle the legs back and forth or do a counter movement to what we just did. Maybe you want to hug the knees to your chest. Anything that comes to mind. Feel free to do that. And this is the last day of the 10-day yoga series. Maybe take a moment to acknowledge yourself for whatever parts you decided to follow along in. knowing that you chose to do something for yourself in any of those moments. Know that there is never a right or wrong in what you participate in this space. You always get to choose what works best for you. Thank you so much for joining in with me today, whether or not you just came for day 10 or you did all 10 days. It was so nice to practice with you. Feel free to rest here as long as you would like.